Hey there, and welcome. Today, we are going to get into the story of someone who was super, super important in American history. And hey, if you've got a quiz coming up about him, you are in exactly the right spot. Let's get to it. So, have you ever thought about who actually wrote America's most famous words? You know, the ones about freedom and being treated fairly? Well, guess what? We're about to meet the guy who put those words on paper. All right, so the man of the hour is Thomas Jefferson, and if there's one thing you need to know about him, it's this. He had an incredibly curious mind. The guy just loved to learn about stuff. Okay, so a few fast facts about him. He was born a long time ago in a place called Virginia. He lived in this really cool home called Monticello. But the things we really need to focus on are that he was a fantastic writer, and like I said, he was curious about pretty much everything. Now, because he was such a great writer, he got a very important job. He was asked to write a special paper that honestly would change America forever. No pressure, right? And that paper? It was called the Declaration of Independence. You can think of it like a big official note to the country of Great Britain that basically said, hey, we want to be our own country now, a free country. And inside that super important paper, he wrote these powerful words. All men are created equal. Now, this is a huge deal. This idea means that everybody, no matter who they are, deserves to be treated with fairness and respect. You're definitely going to want to remember that line for your quiz. So when did all this happen? Well, on July 4th, 1776, the Declaration was officially approved. That date should sound pretty familiar, right? Of course, because that's the day we now celebrate as America's birthday, with all the parades and fireworks. But wait, the story of Thomas Jefferson doesn't stop there, not even close. After helping America become its own country, he went on to become one of its most important leaders. That's right, Thomas Jefferson actually became the third president of the United States. And let me tell you, as president, he had some really big ideas for how to help the country grow. And one of his biggest ideas was something called the Louisiana Purchase. This was a massive deal where President Jefferson bought a huge, and I mean huge, chunk of land for the United States from another country, France. So just how huge was it? Get this. This one purchase literally made the United States twice as big as it was before. Can you imagine that? It's like if your pizza suddenly doubled in size. That's what he did for the whole country. So we've talked about what he wrote and what he did as president. Now let's put it all together and really understand why we still learn about Thomas Jefferson today. Okay, quiz takers, this is your go-to slide. If you remember anything, remember this. He wrote the Declaration of Independence. He was our third president. He doubled the size of the country, and he championed the powerful idea that everyone should be treated as equals. And you know what's the one thing that connects all these amazing accomplishments? It all goes back to his curiosity. He was always asking questions, always learning, and always thinking up brand new ideas. And that really brings us to a final thought. Jefferson's incredible journey all started because he loved to learn new things. So I've got to ask you, what are you curious about today?